Well, hey y'all, happy Monday. I'm so thrilled to have a special guest on our Monday meetup. I am already, I would be so excited anyway, but I'm also coming back from the dead from being not feeling well the last few days at all. And so it was like the biggest blessing to know that Christina was going to be on here bringing fresh fire. Every time that I hear Christina train, I am there. There is a new fire lit under my hiney, and so I'm just excited for her to be on here. Something that I tell Brittany Howard, her upline and kind of power partner, all the time, is that there is such a quality to the trainings and to their team and their leadership and stuff that I have absolutely had so many takeaways from them. I have been inspired to up my own leadership lid because of them. And so I'm just so grateful that she is spending some time with our team today. And then I know that I'm seeing some faces on here from some of their team too, where they're jumping on. So I love that y'all are pack animals, that y'all are traveling in a pack. I love
Totally.
it. Okay. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass the mic to Christina Williams.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Hey, y'all. I cannot believe, listen, when Rebekah was in my inbox, first of all, when you grow up in Plexus watching somebody and then they're like a friend, first of all, it feels unreal. It's like, wait, like we were like, I know like her husband and her babies and I follow her, but I have always followed her. And so for her to be in my inbox, not only in my inbox, but like, hey, could you come share some things with my team? I'm like, suddenly like, wait, what do I know about Plexus? Wait, what is Plexus? What do I do? How did I get here? And all of a sudden you get real excited and nervous. And so I'm really excited to be here. Okay, let's jump right in because I think what I am becoming known for is bringing fire. I don't really know what that means, but that's what everybody says when they say, hey, could you come talk to us? We need your fire. So I think what fire is just belief. Belief. And so I get to talk about something today that I have a ton of passion about because listen, y'all, our products have helped me a ton. I have come off of numerous medications, not compliant, don't tell nobody that. But I mean, it really has freed me from a lot of health struggles. I was an educator. I have my mom of 4. And so, I mean, I lived my whole 20s thinking that this must just be normal, to feel constantly like you're just a little behind the curve in every area of life. But it was starting these products that allowed me to really kind of get ahead of that. And so I'm a huge fan. It's because of our products that our business is what it is. But y'all, the business is what has changed my life. And you might see me now and think, yeah, she was a natural. But what I'm telling you guys is I absolutely was not. It took someone having rock solid belief in my potential in this opportunity that allowed me to be here. I ignored Brittany about the business for over a year. So I'm not a natural. I didn't come in like a Celeste with a ton of friends and a ton of influence. I hadn't spent my life like Celeste, adding value to others and cultivating hard relationships and meaningful relationships, and a lot of them. I didn't have that. I was a teacher, which meant I talked to 10-year-olds all day long, not even adults. Like they don't even have a debit card to buy my products. Okay. I was a mom of 4, which meant I was constantly chauffeuring my kids around, always been very involved with my kids. I'm a wife, but that was kind of my circle. I've always been somebody that prided myself on not needing a lot of friends or not needing a lot of relationships. And listen, that meant my network was real small. My influence was also real small. So what is that? Why am I telling you that? Because it was somebody who saw potential in me and then created a business builder. You guys, if you're looking to go find business builders, here's a freebie. You can't find them because they're not hidden. They're not playing hide and seek. And if you turn the right corner, there they'll be. They're created. They're created because somebody comes in and sees what they can't see. Kind of like newborn babies. Okay, listen, whoever tells you newborn babies are just beautiful, they lying. They beautiful after a bath and after they done pinked up, but right out the gate, they ain't beautiful. But listen, you can't tell a mama that. Ask me how I know. One of my babies was a 1 pound, she's in there, 1 pound baby who was 11 inches long and her eyes were fused shut. To everyone else in the world, she likely looked like a baby squirrel. But to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just the most beautiful thing ever. So someone coming in and seeing a business builder, you got to be able to see what most people can't. And then you've got to be able to call it out. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we recruit business builders? And that really looks like create them before they know you're creating them. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and listen, y'all going to have to just put on your big girl pants and run, because I have 30 minutes and really a lot more content than 30 minutes will hold. So I'm going to do my very best. The resources that you'll see on the screen, I'm going to send to Rebekah. So nobody freak out. But listen, here's a solution. You can take a picture of your screen. If at any time you want more than what I'm giving you, take a picture of it. But I'm going to have to fly, so hang tight, okay? All right, let's see. I'm also not technically savvy, just so you guys know that too. All right, here we go. Creating business builders. That's my friend Britt. Seems remiss to not put her on here, because telling you, the girl saved my life. She very likely also saved my soul. It was her that introduced me to the saving power of Jesus. And listen, if she thought, there is no way she could have known that when she thought she was offering an opportunity to me. So you just never know how God will use your obedience in sharing this to really change someone's life and someone's family's life. So anyways, whole story for another day. But all right, why should you share? People want to know, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Trust me, that was my number one question always. Okay, Brittany, keep all the rest of the fluff. Just tell me what to do. But here's the thing. Even if you know what to do, if you're not inspired to do it, you won't do it. Ask me how I know. How many of you have a gym membership not used? You know what you need to be doing, but you don't necessarily feel inspired to do it. So you just have it. So we're going to spend some time talking about why you should share, and then I'm going to equip you to go and share. But listen, you can't miss this part, because if you're not inspired to share, the action will be fruitless. Okay. So you should share, number one, because people go to bed more concerned about their finances than their health. They always have, and they always will. Even in a crisis like what we've been through over the last couple of years, people are more concerned about their health than ever before. But I guarantee you, if they were to conduct the survey again, which they have done before, and wealth won, people were more worried about their wealth than their health, wealth would win again. Wealth will always be the number one concern, because here's the thing. Someone's health, in their mind, it's just them focused. But their finances, it has a ripple effect in their brain for their whole entire family. So if they don't get this under control, or if this is a major concern, it's not just them that it affects. They can come over here and have a massive heart attack, and that's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, they think they're just hurting themselves, which we know is not true. But I'm telling you, this is the thought process. This is what they think. Like, I got to get my finances under control so that everyone can benefit. Okay. So you have to know that people go to bed worried about how they're going to make ends meet, how they're going to tell their daughter no, that they can't afford cheerleading for high school. Y'all, that's expensive. We're talking thousands. Again, ask me how I know. And if they're on a fixed income, if they're a teacher and they get paid once a month, listen, they're not going to have the $1,800 that it takes for their daughter to be able to do high school cheer. You have solutions. So maybe you're over there thinking, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if anybody real ever becomes a diamond. Okay, fine. Can someone real go earn $500 a month? Do you at least believe that? If you were to go and add up what you've earned over the course of your business, can you at least believe that someone else could earn that? If so, you have an obligation and a responsibility to share. Otherwise, you are robbing people from an opportunity. You can't know the needs in their life. You can't know it. You can't know that they're charging groceries now on a credit card because of inflation. There's no way for you to know that. So for you to make assumptions that maybe people don't need your opportunity, first of all, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Okay, that's not in my notes. Sorry. All right, why is our business so powerful? Let me tell you why. Because this is an opportunity that levels the playing field. There's really nothing like it. Network marketing, Plexus specific, levels the playing field. People get to come in and they get to market a consumable product, meaning people consume it, which means they will continue to need it every single month. They can use this product, market it without ever having to package it, brand it, house it, store it, ship it. They don't have to do any of that. They don't have to create anything. This is a business in a box, and you have it within your grasp to give away. This allows ordinary people to do and create extraordinary businesses. There's nothing like it. And so when you're thinking about, okay, who needs this opportunity? I would be thinking not the people that I need to go rescue, but the people who they're already loving their life. They just need a little bit more. The people who are already thriving where they are, they love their family, they love their career, they're putting their best foot forward. They just need a little more. I'm looking at those people and I'm thinking, what would an extra $1,000 a month mean for that baseball mom? That when it's time for us to all get the monogrammed ball bags, I know that puts a strain on her. What if that didn't have to put a strain on her? What if I could help that not be an issue? Because when I'm thinking about them, when I'm more concerned about what this could do for them, then I'm inspired to suddenly get out of my own way and go share. Okay. Why else should you share? Because there's nothing like a no cap income anywhere else. Listen, if you're a professional, like I told you guys, I was a school teacher. But I have a couple of different graduate degrees. And when I've been looking at opportunities over the years of things I could do, there's always a cap. You'll see a salary range. You know what that range means? This is far you're going to go, Bubba. No matter how good of a job you do, no matter how hard you teach, no matter how creative you are, no matter the results you get, this is as far as you're going to come on the income potential. And here we don't have that. So if you're talking to professionals, know that they want to know that. And you guys, listen, don't prejudge people. You can't know who would or would not be open to an opportunity like this. So don't prejudge. It's your job to offer. It's their job to decide. Okay. So vision. Here's the thing. Number one, you guys, people will not follow where you're unsure you're headed. People say all the time, I can't get anybody to do this with me. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Where are you going? Well, I'm just trying this out. Okay, well, no wonder they're not following you. Nobody's ever going to heed the sound of an unsure trumpet. You got to get real clear on where you're going. It doesn't matter if you've been there yet. I think about heaven. Okay, again, I go back to this because I'm telling you, Britt really just changed my life. So when I think about heaven, and Brittany used to tell me about heaven, and you think she's ever been? No, she sure ain't never been to heaven. But she knows without a shadow of a doubt it's where she's headed. And that correlates to plexus because listen, before we were diamonds, we were silver. And then we were gold. And then we were senior gold. And we had never been to diamond either. We had never been to emerald either. Yet we were real confident where we were going to go. I've heard lots of people say over the years, I've always worked this like a diamond because I was certain that that's where I was going to go. Let me get somebody muted. Hang on. Why out? I can't find it.
Hey, let me watch this, baby.
Hang on 1 second, guys. If you're on, make sure you're muted. Okay. They'll take care of that, I'm sure. All right. Oops. Let me go back. Just kidding. Okay. You don't have to have arrived at where you're headed in order to invite someone to come along with you. So anytime you think, okay, well, when I get to this rank, then I'll be comfortable sharing the business. Know that that's not true, that whatever is of keeping you from sharing the business now, it will follow you until you stare it dead in the face. Doesn't matter where you're going. It matters what the question is. No matter what, will I be willing to do whatever it takes to get there? That's what people need to know if they're going to buy into you as a leader is she going to do whatever it takes to get there? I never knew Brittany's plan for getting us to diamond. Never knew. Once I decided to buy into her as a leader, I just needed to know that no matter what, we were going. No matter how long it took, no matter how messy it got, no matter nothing, none of it mattered. That at the end of the day, is she still going? Could I trust that she would stay the course? Okay. So, come on, Remarkable. Swipe. How many of y'all have a Remarkable tablet? It's usually my best friend. There we go. Okay. So why should you cast vision? Number one, every time you follow up with somebody about this opportunity, just know it builds your credibility as a leader. People say, well, I don't want to follow up because like, I don't want to come across this way or that way. Your lack of follow-up indicates your lack of integrity as a business owner. Your willingness to follow up creates credibility as a business owner. If Brittany had stopped telling me about the saving power of Jesus after the second time because I still wasn't ready, guess what that would mean for me? But because she believed so firmly in what she believed, she was willing to follow up. So to me, if you really believe in this opportunity, and y'all listen, if you don't believe in this opportunity, this is a freebie. You have to have belief in three things to be successful here: products, business, and network marketing, and yourself. Right? So I never struggled with belief in myself, and the products helped me. What I struggled with was belief in the opportunity in network marketing. So if that's you and you're saying, well, I can't cast vision because I don't really know if I believe this, go grow your belief. You can grow it. I had to grow mine. And so I read books like Millionaire by Halftime. I read Power of Five. I read Go Pro. Go build your belief in the industry of network marketing so that you can confidently share your vision with other people. Okay, but back to this. People cannot see themselves doing this. No one grows up and says, I would like to be a network marketer one day. So that means that you're coming out of nowhere with this idea that they could be successful here. And you've got to be willing to call that potential out in them. You guys, it's normal that people have limiting belief and fear. We've been told as adults our whole life, sit down, be quiet. This is the way it's always been done. Be happy with what you've got. Learn to be content. We've heard these things over and over again. So if you're coming in and marching to the beat of a different drum of you can create more, you were created for more, there's more out there, then you're going to have to be willing to overcome the years of them hearing the opposite of that. And let me just tell you, nobody ever gets annoyed with a genuine compliment and you calling out their potential. So if your fear is being annoying, first of all, you're focused on yourself. Focus more on that person. More than I'm concerned about this person thinking I'm annoying, am I more concerned about what if their life looks the exact same in 5 years? Like, what if they've expressed a desire for more and I don't offer what I've got for them? Nobody ever gets annoyed with a genuine compliment. So this isn't flattery, but genuinely calling out strengths that you know would aid them in this opportunity. They'll never get tired of hearing it, even if they never decide to do this. We don't ever hear compliments enough. So be aware of that. Okay. And then also just remember, the naysayers are so loud. They got to have somebody in their court who's saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can, because I know this person who had this exact same hang up and she did it anyways. So what does that mean to you? It means to you, you have a responsibility to become a storyteller. And in order to tell someone's story, you have to know their stories. So are you watching Diamond Docs? Are you building up your repertoire of business stories so that when someone comes along who is a single mom and has big goals, you have a diamond in mind that you can say, she had the same thing. Let me send you her story. I know you could relate. This is casting vision. You're painting a picture of what life could be like in spite of what they feel like could hold them back. Okay, so when you have a vision, you can give it away. This is why it's so important that you buy it. You build it, don't buy it. You can't buy vision. Where are you going to buy it from? You can build it. Build vision. And when you have it, you can give it away. And when you can give it away, here's what you get. People will be confident in where they're headed. Again, they won't care if it's painful on the way. They know where they're going. Commitment. They'll be loyal to the journey. They'll show up for you because they know you're going to show up for them. They'll have persistence. I think about Thomas Edison. He says, I didn't fail. I didn't fail 10,000 ways. I just found 10,000 things that didn't work. It's not failure. We've got to redefine how we feel about failure. And then you'll give them the ability to dream big. One of my girls is on this call. Her name's Terry. If you don't know Terry, Lord, you should. But she still to this day can't talk about the biggest blessing of this business. And it's not the paycheck, because listen, homegirl went emerald in 3 months. That's not the story. The story is she had lost the ability to consider that there could be more for her. She said, I always thought most of my life that I was designed for more, that God had created me for more. But then I just came along to the conclusion that that must not be right. I must have heard wrong, because this was just my life. And I had just stopped dreaming. I was just going to be grateful and just thankful for what I had, which she was. But what the price of that is, for 20 years, the girl gave up every weekend with her family to be a weekend nurse. She worked nights on the weekends, all weekend long, to give so that she could be home with her kids during the week. She thought this is just as good as it will get. You'll be glad to know Terry has decided that's not the case. She has now left that job. She's home all the time. We get to have date nights on the weekends and all the things. But listen, people have gone to sleep on their dreams. You have a responsibility to wake them up. And most of the time, they're not going to wake up round one. Ask Terry how long she ignored me about the opportunity. For over a year. Even my husband and her grew up together. So we met at their high school reunion, and we got in the car. I'm not even kidding. And I said, she's going to be a diamond one day. And he said, Terry Lord Richards, she ain't never going to do this with you. I'm like, yes, she will. He's like, no, she won't. And he clowned me and clowned me and clowned me. He's like, she'll never do it. And I'm like, yes, she will. And so for over a year, there's little old me trying to tell her why she should come over here and do this with me. So people have gone to sleep on their dreams. You've got to be willing to come in and awaken them. Look at all of us in Hawaii. No, that was Mexico, Mayakoba. Okay. All right. So now that we know why you should share, we're going to get into how to share. But before we do that, here's what you need to expect, because sometimes we make results mean something about us. So here's what you should expect. Number one, expect a no, because nobody grows up hoping to be a network marketer. They just don't. So expect that they're not going to say, yippee-ki-yay, let's go. Okay. Leading with the business almost always takes longer than leading with the products. So some of you are over there like, okay, well, hold up. I'm not going to do that. I'll just keep going my product route. Just know that when people do join for the business, they generally get into activity much quicker than people who join for just the products. So you're going to spend time somewhere. You're going to spend time with a product user, having to cast vision and overcome objections to finally get them sharing. Or you can spend time on the front end, casting vision about the business, handling objections, and then enrolling them, and they're ready to take off. So you're spending time somewhere. Just be aware of that. Also be aware, following up with people about the opportunity is the same with the products, generally 8 to 12 times. That's just normal. And I'm going to give you examples of how to do that. And also know, listen, dance back and forth. If someone's not biting with the opportunity, it's okay to offer products. What's not a good look is when you lead with the products and they're totally closed to the products. It's real hard to segue to the opportunity at that point. So I find it much easier. Let's start with the opportunity. Tell them what's in it for them, why they could be successful. Even if the timing's not right for them to start an opportunity like this, usually I can take their objections for the business and turn it into a reason why they need the products. They'll be, I'm tired. I don't have the energy for this. I'd be like, oh girl, listen, it doesn't sound like the timing's right for an opportunity, but you really should take a look at these products. It's a shame that you're living with no energy. Tell me more about that. So I can segue. So usually by the time a business builder joins me that I have started out, like I led with the business, by the time they're ready to start the business, they also have firm belief that they need the products. So be willing to dance back and forth between products and business. And again, I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay. So what does it look like to be somebody who wants to recruit business builders? It looks like lots of people in your funnel at all times. I already told you it generally takes longer to lead with just the business. So I don't ever do just one. I don't ever say, okay, June is the month. I'm going to just lead with the business. Wrong. You know why? It would slow down the recruiting numbers that you would see on your team. So you don't want that to happen. If you want to focus just on recruiting business builders, you're going to sacrifice the people who need products now. So it's both and. Okay, here's how we have that look for our team. A lot of the times we'll say, okay, start 2 new product conversations, follow up with 10 product conversations, start 1 new business conversation, follow up with 2 business conversations. So it's both and. Okay, you don't ever want your team to pivot and only lead with the business because, like I said, people need these products desperately right now. So lots of people in your funnel at all times for both. Okay. Y'all listen, be emotionally neutral to the outcome. Those of you who are spending so much time on the emotional roller coaster of plexus, just know you're strapping yourself into that. It's not a necessity to be successful to be emotionally attached. I'm very neutral. I'm very neutral. If somebody comes to me and they think they're going to change the world with this opportunity, I am no more impressed with that attitude out of the gate than I am with somebody who comes in as just open to hearing more. I stay emotionally neutral the entire time. I don't get overly uppity when somebody comes in and wants to build, and I don't get utterly devastated when someone does not want what I'm sharing. It's about them. And if it's about them, it can never be about me. It can never be about me or my needs or my wants or my frustrations or my goals. It's about the other person. Okay. Someone's speed out of the gate is never an indicator of long-term success. Y'all, I have seen people come in and fly to gold and pitter right out. They never do anything else with it. I've seen people come in and crawl to silver and go on to be a jewel. So it never, ever is an indicator of long-term success. What is an indicator, and you can take this to the bank, being hungry for change in their life and being willing to grow to create the change. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm also looking for people who are driven, who have grit, who won't stop when things get hard. I need them to be optimistic. I cannot with an Eeyore attitude, y'all. Listen, I ain't doing it. If they have influence, great. But if they're willing to grow in influence, just as great. Just as great. So be clear on what you're looking for. You notice I don't have on here anything about pitiful or needs help or desperate. No. Listen, are there people who will be in that situation who do possess these other things? You better believe it. Yep. I can think of one diamond in particular who found herself really down and out, but it was not for lack of work ethic. And I'm telling you, she's got a very solid business now. But for the most part, I'm looking for people with these qualities. And you have to be looking for them, because people who are like this, they're not looking for you. They're out there already being successful at whatever they're already doing. I was over here just being the best teacher, mom, and wife I could be. I wasn't looking for Brittany and her opportunity. So question for self-reflection. Am I the kind of person who can attract those kinds of people? You will attract what you are. Am I this kind of person? And if not, where do I need to grow? If I am that kind of person, how can I showcase these traits on my social media so that people can see that in my life? If I'm driven and hardworking and won't stop when things get hard, how can I showcase that so people will know that about me? How I showcase that in the way of fitness, in the way of tracking my nutrition and talking about it, in the way of being vulnerable on my personal growth journey. Figure out what you can do to track those things. Not to track them, to showcase those things and highlight them so people know that about you, because you will attract what you are, good, bad, or otherwise. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here is an example. Hey, Amy, take the time to connect here. Make sure that you don't just jump right into I know this may come out of left field. Take the time to connect. Okay. I know I've mentioned plexus before. Hey, before I read this is something that I would send to maybe a teacher friend or a mom who I know wants to stay at home with their baby. So know your audience, know who you're talking to. There will never be a one size fits all where you can just send one message to everybody. Okay. So, hey, Amy, I know I've mentioned plexus before, and you'll forever be on my dream team list. If you ever decide to do this, I know you'd be wildly successful because of your drive, enthusiasm, and influence. I'm very specific here. Hey, are you free Tuesday night? My friend Jill is sharing her story of how she went from being a teacher to being at home with her babies and more than tripling her salary. You would love her and her story. You'd totally relate to her sense of humor. Are you free? Would you be open to jumping on with me? So screenshot this if you want to. Basically, I'm just like I would if I was inviting her, if I saw her at Target and was inviting her to an event, just very personable. I've also found that if you change the word from interested to open, people naturally want to be open. They naturally don't want to be interested. So scratch interested. Okay. The next example I'm going to show you is for somebody who's maybe more of a professional. I'm thinking of somebody who's already maybe in corporate America. Maybe their desire is not to be home with their kids. Maybe they just need extra income or another stream of income. So you want to gear that differently. Hey, Amy, no, I've mentioned Plexus before and timing was not quite right for you to take a look. I can absolutely relate to that since I also had to wait for the timing to be right for me. I know, however, that time changes things. So I definitely wanted to jump in here and see if now might be a better time to check this out. My friend Michelle has a master's degree in counseling and is married to an assistant U.S. district attorney. She's definitely a professional just like you. She's in love with professional development, learning, and absolutely wants to take advantage of all life has to offer for her and her family. Figured you'd be able to relate to that. So she's sharing her story Thursday, and I'd love to watch virtually with you. Are you free? Would you be open to jumping on? So this is obviously an invitation to check out a presentation. I believe very firmly that the more presentations you can get in front of the people, the more successful you'll be. If you don't have presentations, do one yourself. I'm also a firm believer in that. Okay, so here is just a snapshot. Again, I'm going to send this to Rebekah. You'll see on the bottom are business objections. If you're going to share the business with people, you need to know the objections never change. They're always the same. So get real good at handling them. They're going to say, I don't have time. Okay, here's what I would do over time with people who had that. I might send diamond docs of people who had the same circumstances. I might invite to opportunity events, etc. They're going to say, when I love the products, then I'll tell people about them. What they're saying is when I have belief in Plexus, I would be open to sharing. So it's your job at that point to build their belief. Build their belief. Don't wait for them to get great results. You can build their belief in a lot of ways. So that's what I would do there. And I'm going to show you some examples. I'm not a salesperson. Okay. Send videos about how we're serving other people. Use diamond docs of people with similar personalities. Use incentives to encourage accountability partners. Okay. Sometimes people will say, I don't want to be salesy when they literally are selling. Like I had a lady a couple of weeks ago, y'all listen, she was a car salesperson in real life. Like that was her profession, but her objection was, I just don't really want to be salesy. Help me understand. It boils down to a belief. It's a belief, a lack of belief in products. What she's saying is I don't want to be salesy because I'm not sure yet that everyone needs what I have. I'm sure with a car, if they come looking for a car, they need the car. So again, your job, build belief in the products and in the opportunity. So this is just a snapshot freebie. There's some product tips above because the objections for products also never change. All right. So these might be follow-ups for those people, depending on the objection that they had. If somebody did not have time, hey, Samantha, girl, I can absolutely relate to how you feel. As a full-time teacher and mama to a lot of kids, I definitely did not see how I could squeeze anything else in either. What I found, you see, I did felt found. What I found is that it's not a matter of spending a massive amount of time working the business. It's more important to be consistent in the little bit of time that you might have. If I could show you how you could be successful starting out with just 30 minutes to an hour a day, would you be open to that? So I never, ever just say, okay, I understand. Yeah, okay. I don't understand. I literally cannot fathom why every single person in the world is not building some sort of network marketing business. It blows my mind. I don't understand. And if you do understand, go build your belief in network marketing. But I just lean into her objection. And I don't just, stop laughing, Rebekah. I don't just want to handle the objection. I want to help them overcome it. So that's why I'm saying, listen, if I could show you how you could do that in spite of what you're saying is holding you back, would you be open? So that they know I'm willing to meet you there. Like I'm willing to show you why that doesn't have to hold you back. Or if somebody says I need my results, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time to read you all these, but I'll send them. Okay. All right. Listen, everybody take a deep breath. This is a lot right here. I'm going to send it. Everybody just say woosah. It's good. Sometimes you have a product user that you think would be great at the business, but oh no, you didn't bring up the business yet. And now they've joined. What do? Okay. You get them on a welcome call and you take them through this flow chart, which I will send you. Step number 1, you get on the phone. You've not talked to Sally in 15 years. What do? You make a personal connection. Brittany told me a long time ago, she was like, Christina, you suck at making personal connections with people. Start asking 3 questions. What do you do for a living? How long you've been doing it? What do you like about it? And listen, I needed that because I just want to get to the point. And she's like, you are terrible. Get better. So make a connection, ask a couple questions, and then validate that they made a great decision with their products. Hey, listen, you're going to love Plexus. Any questions for me about what to do when they come in the mail? I'm going to send you a schedule, etc. Then we ask the magic question. If you love your products, would you be willing to tell people about them? Would you be sharing with friends? However you can make it sound like you. Basically, when you love this, are you going to tell people? And they're going to give you one of 3 responses. I'm absolutely not open, never again. They hang up on you. That never happens. Okay. For the record, very rarely is somebody actually closed when you ask them this question. If they say I'm not open, we just say, okay, cool. Keep in mind, as you're using your products, that it's super easy to cover the cost by helping 3 people, whatever. If they say, yeah, when I love my results, I'll be telling people, then these are the 3 they say, yeah, I'm open to making more money, but I just don't really want to be salesy, or I don't really have time. You can see under objections, there's a response for each one. Again, I don't have time to tell you this, but you could print this off and literally read it. Be willing to be a disaster before you become a master at this, but you can do it. The only difference between my paycheck and yours is that I have been willing to really be terrible at this in order to get mediocre at it. Still not my greatest strength, but I'm willing to do it, and I'm willing to do it over and over and over again. And then you're going to have people that say, yeah, like when I love the products, I'm going to tell people. And so then I say, well, that's awesome. Tell me, what has you open to sharing? Is it making extra money or helping people? So I'll just kind of continue the conversation that way. At that time, building the vision to hopefully get them into activity quickly. Okay, these are your next steps. After you do this, you'll need to know what to do with them next. Once the phone call's over and you'll realize you did not die, then you're going to want to know, what do I do moving forward? This will tell you that. And I'm going to send all of this to Rebekah as soon as we get off the phone. So just, shh, we got this. Okay. Lastly, never underestimate the valuable and important difference you make in every life you touch. Guys, listen, the impact you make today has a powerful rippling effect on every tomorrow, but only if you are willing to share. Don't rob somebody of the opportunity of what Plexus could be for them because you are more concerned about how it's going to look to you, or how you might come across, or what someone will think. At the end of the day, isn't that selfish? Isn't that selfishness? You've got God put this opportunity square in your lap. And just know, if you're saying, well, when this happens or when that happens, y'all listen, this is going to sting. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. You don't know who God is going to have cross your path today. Once you've made the decision, you know what? From now on, every time I feel like I'm supposed to share the opportunity, I'm going to, no matter how I feel about it. You just don't know whose life you might change. And that's all I have for you. So I know that was like drinking water out of a water hose, but
so good. No, it was so good. And at any minute that you were over, we say thank you for all of them. And I just want to say one thing that I am so captivated by whenever I hear Christina train is her belief and her passion. And if I can just give you one tip from like how you feel right now, like, which is just you feel motivated and you feel excited because you're taking some of that belief that Christina has. Be so protective with who you're letting give you influence. Like is having whatever conversation you're in, you're like, oh, I'm kind of around this naysayer or whatever, but it's not really influencing me. I just want you to remember, in every conversation, in every relationship, someone is influencing the other one, even if you don't think it. And it is so powerful. I would rather your circle be so small with just a couple people in there that are breathing belief into you and encouragement and reminding you who you are and where you're going and all those things, than a bunch of people that it feels like a lot of connection, but they're all in there saying, oh, but we're just being real and we just need a place to be real and to vent. And I'm just telling you, that never works. It never works. And it's so damaging. And so one reason that I've basically told Brittany Howard, you have to be my friend, because I'm so like, every time I'm around her, I'm like, yeah, I want to go where she's going. And John Maxwell says the reason birds of a feather flock together is because they're flying the same direction. And so I just say thank you, Christina, for flying with our flock and bringing yours along this morning. And this was so good. And yay for the sheets that you're going to send over. I'll make sure to disperse those in our chats and with the group that was on here today. But just thank you for spending your time with us and giving us so much value. It was so good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So welcome, friend. See you next time.
Bye, y'all.